Mindful Spark. My name's Dave, and in this video we'll be covering the mindful story from week 6 of the Reclaim Your Past, Reset Your Future series. There are corresponding videos to this one and links can be found in the description below. This story is called The Fisherman. So once upon a time there was a fisherman sitting on the dock, just looking out over the bay and feeling the breeze in his hair and the sunshine on his face. And as he sat there, a businessman in a suit on a mobile phone passed by and looked at him as he was talking into his phone. And the fisherman thought nothing of it and just sat there, just taking in his surroundings. And a few minutes later, the businessman returned and said, "Excuse me, are you a fisherman?" And the fisherman replied, "Yes." He said, "Well, why are you not out trying to catch fish?" The fisherman replied, "I've already been out and caught fish." And the businessman said, "But there's plenty of sunlight. Why don't you go out again and catch more fish?" And the fisherman replied, "Well, why would I do that?" And the businessman said, "That's easy, to make more money." "And what would I do with this money?" said the fisherman. "Well, you could buy a boat, your own boat, and go out and catch more fish if you worked really hard." "And what would I do then?" said the fisherman. "Well, the more fish you catch and the harder you work, maybe you could buy a second boat. And over time, if you worked really hard, get other people to work for you and get more and more boats." "And what then?" said the fisherman. "Well," said the businessman proudly, "in 15 or 20 years' time, if you gathered up enough money and enough fleet, you'd be able to do what you wanted." And the fisherman smiled at the businessman and said, "So you're telling me if I work really hard for 15 or 20 years, I can come down in the afternoon and sit here on this seat and look over the sea like I'm doing now?" And the businessman suddenly realized what the fisherman was telling him, went red, and he ran away. So what's the moral of the story? Well, it's easy. Often we think we need to do things. We need to work harder. We need to get the promotion. We need to get more money. But at what point does it bring us happiness? And often a promotion can take away from your well-being. It can take you away from your friends and family. It can keep you so distracted you've no time for yourself. So how can we get balance in our lives? And how can we begin to notice what drives us to do what we do and why? And like every story in this series, this one helps to underpin the theme of this week's story, week 6, that it's important to be able to take the time to see what drives our behavior, and it's often trapped emotions and things we haven't resolved. And the meditation in week 6 will help us to work through that. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you.